Hey everybody, it's Johnny Two-Face here, back with another reaction video. This time I'm reacting to Alexander the Great Part 2 by Epic History TV. I'll leave the link to the original video in the description down below. Please subscribe to Epic History TV for more historical content. They are a brilliant channel. I am subscribed myself. And let's not waste any time, let's get into this.
In 334 BC, Alexander, the 21-year-old king of Macedonia, led a coalition of Greek forces against the greatest power of the age, the Persian Empire. He led an army of skilled veterans, at its heart men of the Macedonian phalanx, armed with the 18-foot Sarissa pike, and the elite horsemen of his companion cavalry. Together, at the Battle of the River Granicus, they'd won a first decisive victory over the Persian army.
I suppose it does make sense using stuff from what looks like the Total War
as Alexander approached Sardis, capital of the Persian province of Lydia, its commander surrendered without a fight.
Wow.
But before Alexander could advance further, he needed to neutralize Persian naval power. Persia had a powerful fleet with major naval bases around the eastern Mediterranean that could potentially cut his lines of communication back to Greece.
Wow.
Rather than challenge the Persians at sea, Alexander decided to attack its nearest bases, the Greek coastal cities of Miletus and Halicarnassus.
I suppose
Both
it stopped the ships from getting their supplies and being repaired.
but were taken by winter.
Wow.
The following spring of 333 BC, Alexander continued his advance into Lycia and Phrygia. At Gordium, he was shown the legendary Gordian Knot. A prophecy said that whoever could unpick it would rule all Asia. Alexander simply took his sword and sliced it in half.
Wow.
Meanwhile, Memnon of Rhodes, a skilled Greek general in Persian service, led Persian warships into the Aegean and captured the islands of Chios and Lesbos. But after Memnon's sudden death from illness, the offensive was abandoned. "18 months had passed since Alexander's army crossed the Hellespont and invaded the Persian Empire. Now Alexander led his men into Cilicia and was soon poised to cross the Nur Mountains into Syria. But then the main Persian army, led by King Darius III himself, emerged behind the Greek army to the north. Darius was determined to trap and destroy Alexander's army, which he outnumbered almost 2 to 1. So he blocked Alexander's only escape route by moving his army to the coastal plain near Issus, just 6 miles wide, from mountains to sea.
Ooh.
The narrow battlefield would force Alexander to fight, but it also prevented Darius exploiting his huge numerical advantage.
Yeah.
His army, by some
Narrow
estimates,
path
was up to
negates,
100,000 strong,
superior
and
numbers.
contained some of the finest soldiers in his vast empire, including 10,000 of his own household troops, known as the Immortals.
I was wondering where that Persian story came from.
His best cavalry were massed on his right towards the sea, where the ground was better for horses.
Another
His
skilled
best infantry, his Greek mercenary hoplites, formed the center. Persian infantry formed his left wing. Alexander deployed his own army for battle, once again entrusting his left wing, nearest the sea, to Parmenion, with the Greek cavalry and infantry. In the centre, as always, was the Macedonian phalanx.
They're 18
Alexander positioned himself and his best troops on the right wing, toward the mountain slopes. His elite Agriane javelin throwers, his archers, and behind them the Hypaspists and the companion cavalry.
Wow. It's interesting the tactics
When
they're
Alexander
using.
saw the strength of the Persian cavalry facing Parmenion on the left, he moved across his Thessalian cavalry to reinforce him. Despite his overwhelming numbers, Darius held his position behind a small river, the Pinarus, and waited for Alexander to attack. He didn't have to wait long.
I think this battle was pretty
Alexander
massive.
called out to his men, urging them to fight bravely, picking out some by name.
Wow.
Then, at the head of his army's right wing, he charged. Once again, the speed and shock of the Macedonian advance sent the enemy reeling back. But in the center of the battlefield, the Macedonian phalanx was in trouble. In its effort to keep up with Alexander, its formation had become disordered.
Wow.
Now, in fierce fighting with Darius's Greek mercenaries, the phalanx was slowly being driven back. Alexander, seeing the danger, regrouped and led the companions in a headlong charge straight at the Persian center.
Brave.
The Greek mercenaries threatened on their flank were soon in disarray, and the Macedonian phalanx was able to resume its advance.
Supporting the main
Alexander
attack.
fought his way towards the great king Darius
Wow.
himself. Rather than face this apparently mad and fearless Macedonian king, Darius fled the battlefield in his royal chariot.
Wow.
Meanwhile, the Macedonian left wing under Parmenion was in a desperate fight against the best of the Persian cavalry.
I suppose, don't know if you'll send
The
any
Persians
troops to
could break
Par-
through here. They could envelop Alexander's army and snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. But Parmenion and his troops fought doggedly and continued to hold the Persians at bay. As the news that Darius had fled spread among his troops, they abandoned the fight and tried to save themselves.
Wow. I love the footage they're using. It's so
Battle
cool.
turned into a massacre. Ptolemy, one of the Macedonian commanders, told Alexander there were so many Persian dead.
I've heard
His
the name
men
Ptolemy
had used them
before.
to fill a deep ravine, so they could cross over it.
Oof. Okay, like a fleshy bridge of sort. Son of Amun.
The Battle of Issus was a stunning victory for Alexander. And amongst the spoils of victory were Darius's wife, mother, and 3 children, all taken alive and well treated by Alexander.
Wow.
With the Persian field army in retreat, Alexander now turned to subduing the western territories of the Persian Empire.
Yep. As soon as you hear the name Ptolemy and you
The
see
next
Egypt
year,
on the map,
332, the
you can see
coastal
where this is
cities of
going.
Phoenicia submitted to Alexander, ending Persian naval power in the Mediterranean.
Wow.
But the island city of Tyre resisted. Tyre's defenders fought bravely and skillfully, even when Alexander began building a causeway to the island, protected by 2 giant siege towers, which they counterattacked with fire ships.
Wow.
But after 7 months, the city walls were breached and Tyre fell. Most of its citizens were killed or enslaved. Gaza, too, was taken by siege. Alexander continued to Pelusium on the Nile Delta, where the Persian governor of Egypt surrendered the entire province to Alexander, along with the royal treasury.
Wow. Wow, even to Libya.
At Memphis, priests of this ancient land welcomed Alexander as their liberator from Persian rule,
Wow.
and crowned him pharaoh.
Ah.
At the mouth of the Nile, he founded a new city, Alexandria. Then
huge
travelled
city on
to
the
the desert
coast.
oracle of Siwa, where, according to some
Wow.
accounts, the priests welcomed him as son of Amun, king of the gods. Alexander returned east to Tyre, where in 331 BC he received news of trouble back home. Despite his great victories over the Persians, many Greeks regarded Alexander as a tyrant.
Wow.
King Agis of Sparta, with Persian support, now launched a revolt against Macedonia. Antipater, Alexander's commander in Greece, was already dealing with rebellion in Thrace,
Oh, against
but he
Thracians.
quickly marched south and met Agis in battle near the city of Megalopolis. Even the legendary Spartans were now no match for Macedonian military power. The Spartan army was crushed. King Agis himself was among the fallen. With his base in Greece secure once more, Alexander advanced towards the Persian heartlands, seeking a final showdown with Darius. He received a letter from the Persian king offering him a fortune in gold, his daughter in marriage, and half his empire in exchange for peace. But Alexander's stunning victories, all the oracles and acclamations, had now convinced him that his destiny was to rule the world. He rejected the Persian king's offer. He didn't want half the empire. He was coming to take it all.
All or nothing. So, unfortunately, there's a lot of leaders throughout history like that. They want
Research
all or
and
nothing.
artwork for this video comes from Osprey Publishing's extensive range of books on ancient history.
Okay, that'll do it. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll be uploading more videos as soon as possible. And hopefully, if you wanna make recommendations for videos for me to react to, please put them in the comments down below, and I'll upload more videos as soon as possible. See you later.